The history of Jack Cole Road is one that is strange and very unusual. This road in the western part of Blount County is filled with strange occurrences and a very murderous history. Surrounding the road is heavy woods and dense forest that make you feel strange and aware that something is not right in this neck of the woods. The first reports of something unusual began around 1890. Residents in the area reported hearing strange noises and seeing lights in the woods that no one could explain. Many attempts were made to solve what was happening, but many just came to accept that maybe the place was just different.
So a lot of these reports at the time started really picking up, and a lot of the newspapers started picking up on the strangeness of the road. And to tell you the truth, if you're riding through on a horse or a buckboard wagon, and you see a light appears in front of you and it crosses the road and disappears, it'd make anybody talk. It would scare anybody. Or you see a strange creature, you didn't know what it was. Several of the reports also, at the beginning of the 1890s, talked about men shooting at things. And they would talk about, they would see strange animals and they would shoot at it and get up to it, and would be nothing there. So the road definitely started off with a bang. And just a lot of the scariness started off really quick and started in the 1890s.
After many years of hushed whispers in the community, the houses on Jack Cole Road then began to experience weird happenings and ghostly sightings. One house in particular began to have things happen in it that some said caused the first mysterious death on Jack Cole Road. The owner of this house hung himself after having things happen to him that he could not explain. Thus the road and its curses claimed its first but not last victim. Around 1940, things started to pick up again. People started seeing ghostly shadows standing beside the road. Then a strange beast was seen walking through the woods in the area. It was soon blamed on something. Hunters in the area had found an old house deep in the woods where the remains of a very old lady were found mummified. People then started saying that the woman was a witch and was the reason that weird things were happening in the area, thus setting off a rush to judgment in the community that ended in kids burning down what had remained of her house.
Now the strange part of the men finding the woman's cabin in the woods, and they found her, she was mummified, and she had been there for quite a number of years, and it really upset a lot of people in the community because they didn't know who this woman was. There was this woman living in a community deep in the woods, and nobody knew she was there or anything else. And at that time, a lot of sightings of a Bigfoot type creature were starting to be seen in the area, and a lot of people started seeing just a very weird shape of an animal. Some said it was like a man, some said it was like a big wolf in the area, and they kept seeing it. And after a number of times, I think there was 5 or 6 reports of seeing this thing standing beside the road. And once they found the woman in the woods, in the cabin in the woods, they had something to blame, I think, a lot of them. And once the hunters found her, then all of a sudden, and not knowing that she was there for as long as she was, a lot of people in the community were like, oh my goodness, what is this? Was she a witch? And so the term witch kind of fit her and became kind of like a scapegoat for the community of everything that was happening on Jack Cole Road. And it was very unfair because this woman lived for years in the community. Nobody knew she was there. Yet, when she died, nobody was there, which was very sad. Yet, there was somebody to blame for all the stuff that happened on the road. And at that time, people would go see her cabin and see the witch's cabin and everything. And apparently, it had got burned down during that time. And it got burned to the ground. And after that, a lot of the sightings actually increased. So people in the community were even then like, well, she was causing it, Of course, they needed a scapegoat. And around that time, a lot of the reports started changing from from a Bigfoot-like creature to just something ghostly walking along the road. There are several reports of people seeing just something walk along the road, then just disappeared, you know. So the woman that was found in the cabin got blamed for a lot of it. Now, was she a cause of it? I don't know. We'll never know.
Around the late 60s, another incident happened that caused people to fear Jack Cole Road even more. A longtime resident of the area, a fruit grower, was found murdered at his home at the end of Jack Cole Road. The murder was a particularly vicious one that shocked the community and was blamed on a local African-American man. This poor man went to prison for the crime, but many believed he was innocent.
The Halls murder was a particular vicious one, and it just added to the strangeness of the road. Mr. Halls was found outside his chicken house, and he had been murdered with an axe. It was one of the worst they had seen in a long time. And a lot of people in the area really got concerned and really started talking more about the road and the strange history and what went on. And it really scared a lot of people, that murder. Now, Mr. Halls was a fruit grower, and he had lived in the area many years and was very friendly with a lot of people, didn't have any enemies. The person that was blamed for the murder was a local man, local African-American man, and at the time he proclaimed his innocence very much. He died in jail, and a lot of people in the community didn't believe that he did it. There was a lot of people in the community that swore up and down there's no way this man could have did it. So maybe an innocent man was blamed for the murder and somebody else got away with it. It was just a strange case.
The next couple of years, odd things still happened on Jack Cole Road, but the road claimed its most famous victim in 2003. A famous civil rights photographer of the 60s died in a house on the road. Days before his death, he told friends about seeing things in the house and experiencing something very frightening in the woods. The road had claimed its third victim. At the end of the decade, a woman was found murdered near the end of Jack Cole Road. Thus, the fourth victim of Jack Cole Road was reported. Then recently, the road had another victim. The road had kept up its macabre record. This was victim 5. Thus, the history of Jack Cole Road is one of strangeness and mystery. What is happening on Jack Cole Road? What is causing the odd occurrences and strange things reported in this area? Is the road cursed? Is there something sinister going on in this area? Who knows? Maybe the road is cursed.
Who knows what's happening on Jack Cole Road? After 90 plus years of strange sightings, strange reports, ghostly figures being seen by the road, people seeing unexplained beasts, all the crazy murders that's happened on the road, there's something definitely weird and unusual about the road in the area. I guess we'll never ever know.